Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and this is All Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Full disclosure, before I get started into this video, I may or may not be high doing this video. They're painting my bathroom this morning, and while they're taking a lunch break, I'm doing this video. And as I closed, they took the door off the bathroom, but as I closed the door to the cabin, it's pretty strong in here. So it just took, I had a flashback to, oh my God, this has probably been 13, 14, maybe 15 years ago. A little place I was staying in Hako, and I was doing the painting, and I got drunker than Cooter Brown painting one day. So you mix alcohol and paint fumes and you can get pretty high. Don't huff paint, kids. Public service announcement for the day. Anyhow, I just wanted to talk about raw tropical living and how raw tropical living is more than raw vegan. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button, click on the little bell and check send notifications so you can stay subscribed to the channel and come back and check out some more of my content. See if you like it. You can always unsubscribe if I'm not your cup of tea. Yeah, I'm probably going to be a little wacky today, like I say, with these paint fumes floating around. But no, seriously, I've been doing a lot of work. I've been on the computer so much lately. In fact, I've gotten that little, the last few days I've been getting off because I've been getting that little crick behind my shoulder blade. But doing a lot of work on branding. I've been doing some tweaks on the blog. I'm kind of just trying to pull everything together. And as I'm thinking of branding, and I was doing some t-shirt stuff and just various things in that area, I'm kind of thinking about raw tropical living, what I want it to be, what I think it is, what I desire for it to be, or what my expression of it is. And it's much more than the raw vegan food. I don't want to be just in that narrow of a niche. I know there's a lot of the raw vegan educators out there, and I know there's a lot of just like one-trick ponies. It's just raw vegan. It's all food all the time, raw, 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 raw. Now, once again, it kind of sounds like I throw raw vegan under the bus at times. No, I just don't I don't put it up on some sort of pedestal, although it's been uber important in my life. It was probably the catalyst that cleaned me out enough to kind of like take me on to other things. But as you kind of get yourself cleaned out, that's why I'm always trying to say, figure it out, make yourself a plan, even if it takes you longer than somebody else. Work that plan and get through to the other side as quickly as possible. Because there's a lot more healing things out there than just obsessing about, than working on the food. What are you gonna really do? Are you gonna work on this raw food thing for 4 or 5 years? I just don't have the patience for that. Get the food part of it out of the way. The raw living foods. They cleaned out my body, cleaned out my head, opened my mind to a lot of things. And it's a lifestyle. I really want to be a lifestyle channel. I really want this to be a lifestyle brand, a healthy, holistic, rounded lifestyle. Because in addition to the raw food, the food in general, plant-based, lots of fresh fruits and vegetables. We got to get more than that. We got to get more than that. A big thing I'm going to do, one that I always preach about, and I'll continue to preach about, that's a huge part of it, is the vitamin D. The vitamin D. So many people, just don't put enough emphasis on that, and they think the food will get them there. And I'll be honest, like sometimes I find people, and I don't engage, I don't care, I'm not a debater anymore. I used to be a big debater in my past life, so it just doesn't interest me. It doesn't matter. I don't get angry or get turned off when somebody disagrees or whatever. I'm not interested in arguing about it. But when I don't have anything, listen, anytime anybody comes at me, like trying to like pontificate and be up on a higher stool or whatever, and they're not getting real vitamin D, it goes in one ear and out the other. I mean, come on. Somebody that's like supposed to be an educator or whatever, you ain't even getting the real vitamin D. So right there, even if you are eating better than me, I'm putting it all together with the catalyst that brings everything together. I don't, honestly, and right now I'm not getting vitamin D. I haven't been out in the sun in about 3 weeks, but that's just so much a part of my life that I could not even imagine at this point, unless something happened that was beyond my control, moving back to a place where I couldn't get an adequate amount of vitamin D throughout the year. It's that important to me. If the food's important to you, the vitamin D has got to be important to you. Exercise. I see way too many people that I bump shoulders with, network with in groups, just online and whatever, that they're just eating. They do hardly nothing though. Walking is good, but my mentality has kind of progressed on this in the last few years, when it used to just be like, oh yeah, man, just get up and move your body a little bit. Walking is good, but unless you're kind of elderly or have some sort of a problem, probably need to be doing a little bit more than just walking, or I need that anyway. I need some stimulation. I need movement. So that's all I'll get at right there, is you got to have some movement in your life. There's the food. There's the vitamin D that brings it all together. We've got to move our body. You don't even have to call it exercise. Hell, I've always said before, it'd be fun if you had a little small community of like-minded people to have periods of, like, not have your workout period every day, but just have your play. And you'd go outside and you could run around and you could do stuff like kids used to do. Maybe have an adult jungle gym or whatever, but moving the body, circulation, getting the lymph moving. You can specifically do things. You can do the rebounding, but anything we're doing moving around, we're getting that lymph moving. We're the blood flowing, everything moving. Our bodies are meant to move. This whole sitting in an office all day, that is killing people, and it's making fat asses. They call that the office spread. So you've got to get movements a part of it. Also, too, in a lot of these studies, like the blue zones, one thing they find that's common in all these areas where they have a much larger percentage of older people, octogenarians, centenarians, 80, 90, and 100-year-olds, that are very active. And one thing that's common among all of them is they do get out and move their bodies. They don't necessarily they don't go out and do formal exercise. These are sometimes people that are a little bit removed from us. I don't want to call them primitive, but they're a step back. They live remote. But a lot of them, part of their day is just their daily chores. Like the oldest people, they eat plant-based, and they generally get out and work, physical work. They get out and work in their gardens, or they work to produce their food for 3 or 4 hours a day. So they got their hands in the dirt, but they are moving their body. And like I say, as I'm going on and on about this lately, I think some sort of an awareness. I don't know what you want to call it. If you don't want to, like, some people are averse to the word meditation, but I think you have to have something that's similar to that. Something where you're just sitting with yourself, something where you're just aware, something where you're just like quiet for a while, somewhere where you're just letting your deprocessing. That is the mind, body, spirit connection. That's a huge thing. So that's something that can't be discounted, but all these things kind of work together. And I don't know that we can actually say there's a synergy to them. We can't necessarily even give like a weighted importance to them, like this is the most important, this is less, this is less. I think we need all these things. And then obviously a good source of water. I could always do better on that, and people go back and forth of what's good water. Buy this machine and take the ions and the negativity and do this and say a prayer over it, whatever. Best I can do right now is we've got really good water out of the tap up here in the mountains, and I just use a simple Brit pitcher with a filter in there. But the water is another one. So yeah, that's kind of how I want this channel to develop, and we'll see how that develops, and we'll see what I mean by that. If I ever eventually do, like I say, some programs down here, they will be all based around that. And then another one that maybe isn't a necessity, but maybe it is in the coming future, is learning how to grow your own food. So like I say, I want this just kind of be a rounded thing. It gives me more opportunity for sharing content, sharing more relevant content, sharing more health producing content, in my opinion. And like I say, it gives us a balance. I think we all just need balance is a great word in life. We just need balance in different things. We don't need to go all full force, all focused on one thing. And I just see a lot of people getting caught up in that trap, and they're in the food thing for years and years. I mean, as you do more time and your time wanes on in this, you just start noticing the people that have been fooling around with food. Okay, it's like, okay, I know Joe. I remember Joe's face. I was in this group with him. He was a friend with me on this. Been trying to do the food thing for 2 or 3 years now. Need to do the food thing so you can get on to the other things that give you full health. Because it is more than the food. And now I'm just starting to repeat myself, aren't I? I've said it's more than the food about 100 times. So anyhow, that's what I always want to focus on this channel, is, just like the different aspects that contribute to an overall healthy life. Healthy, happy, mentally balanced. I mean, hey, one thing, and I'll finish with this. As I tell you always, I'm not necessarily saying, look at me, you should do what I do. All I can tell you is what I do. And all I can tell you is honestly tell you my mental state of mind. And most days I'm very happy. Almost every day I'm very happy. If I'm not I may not be ecstatically happy, but I'm definitely in a good mood. I get angry, flustered so much less than I used to. I don't know, everything's just, and like even the things that do, I've started to learn how to work through that and process that. And I've just let go of so much. It doesn't make me angry. And also too, that one thing, the proof is there. If you see me, it's like, I don't get angry talking about this food. I think that's what I see in a lot of the people. Anytime I see an angry comment about food, I'm like, I just don't even understand that. That's a mental illness or something. It's like, it's food. I mean, I'm passionate about what I eat. I want to eat the best, but what you eat is what you eat. I don't get caught up into that. So I have mental balance. I have a mental well-being. I'm happy. I'm not crazy. I'm not saying a bunch of crazy stuff like a bunch of people out there. So let's go for balance more in this life. And I'm going to end it right there. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you again tomorrow. Peace.